Hey guys, welcome back to Rookie Talks. Cooper here today. We're sponsored by Mitmo Apparel, so if you want to cop some pieces, we still got a few left. So message us in the DM at Mitmo Apparel, and let's get into it. We got Tim and Kalani on the podcast. How's it going, boys?
Hey, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
This is the second start because here they had a bit of technical difficulties. Now it's carrying on at work, but I guess we just have to pull through for today. So let's start off. So intro of you two boys. Tim, you go first, bro.
Just graduated school last year from Toowoomba. Now in Brisbane currently. Here playing for Brothers, and here living with my coach Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm Kalani Timma, graduated from Ipswich Grammar School last year. I'm currently playing at South Rugby Union in Annerley, and really enjoying my time there.
Yeah. So you both played the GPS competition. How did you feel the competition was for you guys?
For me, it wasn't the best. We thought we'd have a higher finish and do a lot better, but I guess that's rugby and GPS footy, and each week's a grand final. So
Oh yeah.
turn up, but I still enjoyed playing footy at IGS over the past 5 years. So
Good opportunity.
yeah, especially setting up your future. So yeah, it was a good opportunity.
Yeah. Tim, what do you think of competition?
Oh, obviously coming from a school that's not very high in rugby, you learn a lot of things. Like obviously staying into it, even though like there was some games where we got flogged and all that, but I guess you learn more to coming back a bit stronger and lasting into the whole season finishes for that 8 games. But at times I certainly found it was very hard, but at the end I'm happy I got through it, because if I couldn't get through that, I wouldn't be able to chase my dreams as I am still to this day.
Yeah. No, legit though, that's a thing. I think every game you'll get something out of it, no matter the score, 100%. And it's such tough competition as well. Everyone's on the back, so you don't know who's going to change up and come back the next year even stronger. That's crazy to me, hey. So you started off rugby. Where did you guys start? Where's your humble beginnings of rugby?
Well, my humble beginnings is a small club in Springfield Lakes called the Springfield Hawks.
Shout out.
Yeah, spent 2 years there and then moved to South.
How old are you, sorry, bro?
I'm just turned 18 last month.
Oh, no, I mean like when you started playing rugby.
I started playing rugby in under 5s, I think it was.
Oh, young, bro.
Yeah, so I've been playing for a while.
All rugby union?
Yeah, all rugby union. Tried league once and wasn't really good at it, so stuck to union.
Fair.
Yeah, and I was a bit different. My rugby actually started pretty late, where I'm under 15s, probably 1 year in Emerald, where I was before Toowoomba, and then got picked up the next year. And then throughout then I probably had 3-4 years. So I started around 16 and just been playing rugby since then, but beforehand I played league up north.
Yeah, so you're saying you're playing up north. How was that transition down, and how did it all come about?
Oh, for me, it was a big smack to the face. Within my second week at Toowoomba, I was probably crying on the phone to mum, telling her that I want to go home and suck it all away. But she told me just to hang in there for another week or two, and then then I didn't give her a call. But I didn't give a call back home saying that I wanted to go home, and I just stuck in from grade 10, 11, 12, and then graduated there last year.
Yeah, that's good. And how did you get the opportunity? Was it through like a rep comp or something like that, or just got picked up?
Yeah, so it was through a school competition where I went down and represented my area. We played in Ipswich and we had a couple games there. It was actually my last game. What was my last game through sport and rugby? Just because as years go up and as you get older, it costing paying for stuff that was a bit unnecessary. My family's not very up there with money wise, so it was actually the year I was going to stop rugby, and then I got a call from Toowoomba asking that they'd like me to go down there in grade 10. So I was very lucky.
Wow, that's sick. Good stuff, bro. And yeah, so I'm guessing you boarded down there then, bro?
Yeah, so grade 10, 11, 12, I boarded at Toowoomba, and then my family moved out in grade 12, watching my last year's school and rugby. So it was pretty good to have them.
Oh,
there.
sweet. How was the experience of boarding? You liked it, or?
Yeah, I loved it. It was very good. Obviously, I'm coming from up north where there's quite a lot of polys and all that stuff in my little town to a country school where it's just cowboys and whatnot talking about talking about talking about tractors and what they'll do on the weekends, and then just a little poly kid there that's just sitting there quiet as we talk, just thinking, geez, these guys are crazy with the work and that they do. But I loved it. It was very good. It was very different. Experienced life in a different way.
Mm. And for you, Kalani, were you a day guy or a boarder?
No, I was a day boy since I only lived like 25 minutes from the school, so I just traveled.
Hey.
Yeah, caught the train until I got like, my P's and started driving in. So yeah, I'm day boy.
Yeah, bro. And you always knew you were gonna go to Ipswich Grammar, or?
No, actually, so before Ipswich Grammar, I was at a school called Springfield Anglican, and I didn't really know about GPS comp. I thought the comp that we were in at TSAC was the best comp in the business, and it wasn't until my mate Rio, he told me he was going to Ipswich Grammar, and then I told my parents, and we went to Ipswich Grammar on an interview, and I was lucky enough to get selected into there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I ended up at Ipswich Grammar.
And that was from your whole schooling?
Yeah.
So when you were in grade 7 and stuff?
Yeah, when I had my last year in grade 7 at Springfield, and then grade 8 I moved to Ipswich.
And did you go, when you both started playing rugby for the GPS and then for RGS and Toowoomba Grammar, did you go straight into the top ranks, or not like first, but like A's and stuff until you couldn't get into seconds and first?
Yeah, so when I went there, we had like 4 trial games, and I wasn't actually playing halfback at the time. They chucked me on the wing because back then I was like a bit of a hog and didn't really like to pass. So they chucked me on the wing, and I think it was the best thing they could have ever done, and taught me to pass, and yeah, opened my eyes from a different view on the field. And yeah, so, but I was lucky enough to get selected in the first team for the under 8, the year 8. So yeah, so I was in the first.
Wait,
team.
what? Wait, oh, you mean the first for year 8?
Yeah, year 8. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you got in the first and you're in year 8. I was like, holy crap, bro.
Yo, I was gonna say
Hectic
not
times.
surprised. I was gonna say not surprised.
Yeah, and for you, Tim, did you go straight? What was it like being in year 10?
So year 10, obviously a bit scary and all that schoolwork and I had to be on top. I started off in the 16Bs and I actually wasn't prop at that time. I was well, they actually got me over to Grammar. They had me at 6.
Yeah.
They had me at position 6 for a bit, and I had to play a couple of games in the Bs and then went up to A's, and then they chucked me at 8, chucked me through 8, and then a couple of games down track, chucked me at hooker, and then I just found my number 3 on my back, and I think now hopefully I'll stick to that number for as long as I can when I play rugby. So
yeah, that's sweet as. And yeah, so you were playing rugby a bit. What was some things you knew, like you learnt, that was when you came through, that you thought was biggest change to your game? Obviously, you guys improved since you were playing in GPS comp.
I think for me, I had to improve on passing the ball a lot. So I got moved from onto the wing, and then next year I was playing at 10, which was I never had played that position before, and taught me a lot on how to get your players working off you and how to put people in space. And for me, it was a big learning curve playing a different position that, I wasn't comfortable in. But yeah, it was a good feeling and good. It was good to learn a different position.
Yeah. Always having positions under your belt's good, bro. You can be utility.
Yeah, definitely.
For you, Tim?
Yeah, and for me, probably my ball running and footwork was the biggest thing I had to improve, especially being the prop and the size I am. I'm not the biggest prop out there. If anything, I'll be the smallest out of most props out there in the competition, especially coming over to Brisbane. I'll be probably pretty light and pretty small prop. So I focused on obviously trying to get big at the same time, but that's more of a long distance type of thing. I thought I would focus more on my footwork and speed, so I could beat those other defenders that will come for me when I'm running the ball.
Yeah, legit. And always, whenever we talk to people who come through schoolboys, we always touch on the culture that it brings and the school culture. What was that experience like for you guys? Was it a bit surreal or what?
What, between like each schools or in our own
Just
school?
in general, bro. Like they always talk about the hype between just in normal schooling, and then it goes into the games and just amps up.
Yeah. Oh, at our school, we're like real big on rugby, and all the boys get amongst you, and each week we have a build up, and especially on those big games like against Nudgee, I've never seen our school so hyped around that one game. Like there was posters on the wall. We had meetings at lunchtimes to practice war cries, and it was a big hype around rugby just for that one game. So yeah, it was pretty surreal feeling, especially running out of that tunnel for the first time and it almost hit halfway. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've seen some of them. They're pretty cool, eh? Pretty
Yeah,
classic going the halfway tunnels.
yeah, and everyone's smashing you as you run out, and
Yeah, you got to, otherwise it's not really a good tunnel, is it?
yeah, nah.
Yeah, and they always talk about how IGS is a bit of an underdog with someone, then you can turn over some of the games. I've seen you. I was watching one of the highlights the other day, and it was last year's game when you guys, was it 27 all? Wasn't it a draw with TSS or something?
Oh yeah, we had 29 all against
29 all, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy day for us. We went down there thinking that we had nothing to lose, and for us to go out there and put 29 points and keep them to 29, it was a good feeling for us because they were premiers at the time, so we had nothing to lose. So just playing rugby and enjoying it was pretty special for us.
Yeah. And the culture for you?
Well, I loved it. It was very good. Like obviously not being a very big rugby school, they certainly loved watching it and watching those boys represent the school in that jersey and all that stuff. I loved it. It was very good. Like the biggest thing I saw was that tournament game were very good at, and I always support them to this day. Is that they never give in and the type of thing. Like obviously saying again, we're not a very big rugby school or anything, but for the boys who give up their Saturday to come watch us and give us war cries, it just gives me goosebumps and that stuff thinking and talking about it, that they're always there 24/7 behind us when we're losing or winning. So I love that about our grandma.
Yeah. And so how was the preseason for you boys? I know it's a long stint to only play like a handful of games, but how was preseason for you boys? Is it hard or what?
My last year preseason was so tough. We had our first camp at school. That was crazy. So we went out for dinner at like 7:00 or 8:00 or whatever it was. We went to Sizzler, and my mate Sam Walker, threw him under the bus. He left like all his food on the ground and all these chips, and we just took off to the bus, and they left all their mess there, and we got on the bus, and our coach was fuming. We got back to camp to school at like 10:00, and he said, "Oh, you have 2 minutes to get changed, get your boots, and you're on the field." And we had this massive hill that we had to run up, bear crawl up, carry each other, and we didn't get to bed till like 11:30, 12:00 that night. And then the next morning we were up at 4:45 running this massive, like this hill is huge. And
damn, bro.
That was a tough preseason.
You would have been carb loading on the food at Sizzler too.
Yeah, because we had the all you can eat, so we were just munching out on whatever we could get, and then find out we had to run up the hills because our discipline on us wasn't that great. So yeah, and then you see the boys vomiting as they get down the hill, and it's pretty tough.
That's it.
Yeah.
Makes you a better player though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, the preseason for you?
Oh yeah, and preseason for me, obviously not being a big school in that, we had to be the fittest. Well, we tried to be the fittest, and there was a lot of fitness in that, and obviously being my size and my position, fitness and I don't go very well to this day too. So it was very hard. Like I thought grade 10, 11, 12, it was either all the same or it just got harder the years going by.
No, that's it. And obviously got a double podcast today. So if you guys don't know, Kalani and Timma are a bit of good friends. You want to touch on that, boys?
Oh, here we go. Kalani?
Tell us about your history.
Yeah, so me and Timma were actually in a rugby camp, and he was traveling from Toowoomba and back to Brisbane, which is like an hour and a half drive each morning. His mum wake up and bring him down to trains, which on a Tuesday. So we went into camp on a Monday or Sunday, and I told him on a Tuesday, you can stay at my house. This coconut didn't want to say anything, didn't want to text me or anything until the next Saturday when we're flying out to Melbourne. And yeah, that's how our friendship started, I think.
Yeah.
I just got a bit scared. Obviously, I didn't reach out to him on that Tuesday afternoon because obviously being Kalani Thomas, it was a bit daunting at first when he first asked me. But nah, that's where we started from our rugby camp together. Mum and I were driving in very early in the morning. Mum would drive me in. I'll have a sleep in the car. Training would start at Ballymore. Mum would have a sleep in the car all day, and then as soon as I finished, we'd hop back in the car and we'd drive back home. But then Kalani had all the boys saw that and he reached out to me, and I was a bit shy at the time, and then he got me. Stopped a couple of days from doing it, which was very grateful to have Kalani there.
Respect.
Yeah, exactly. To have me in his household, and since then we've been that close on and off the field. And he's been a little better than me, I reckon. It's not the other way around, but he's done a lot for me, and yeah, my family we respect him very highly up there. And Mum calls him another son, so it's pretty crack up.
Hey, and what camp was that for?
That was just a rugby. I don't know.
just a rugby camp that we had.
Yeah, right. So saying you were good friends, how was it like playing against each other?
Timma sacked him. We were playing IGS.
What was
Timma sacked it.
My 3 years at Grandma, I never got to play Ipswich because first year I was away for something, and then the 2 years I was injured. But my last year I really wanted to play Kalani, and I had to drop the game beforehand. We versus Ipswich. I did my knee, and then we went to go play Kalani. But he surely gave it to me like I was playing. So Kalani, he made this little break, ran down the right sideline. I was on the bench handing out water. He made a break and he was pointing his tongue out to us on the bench. So he fed us. And then I was just like, oh, you kid, you're so lucky I didn't play. I would have sat you on the side
there? Not the injury ones at Lucas Ripley. Bro, yeah. Not the injury ones, bro.
Oh, man.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I was watching something on you, Kalani, about, I think it was Ralph Nogga, where you put your tongue out every time you run. I think it's classic.
Yeah, he did that against us.
I don't know. It's like ever since I've been young, I've just always had my tongue out when I'm running, and
makes you go faster.
Yo, if you know, you know. And I was running, like when I was running against Timma's team, like I wasn't doing it just like to be a cheeky kid. I was just doing it because I was just running. And then it was just lucky that he was on the bench watching, and he took it to heart.
Oh. Hey, if only Tim was out there, bro. Yeah, watch out.
Oh.
Tim couldn't.
I would have just sat that tongue back in his mouth. That's all. He wouldn't have had it out.
Timmy, you can't say it yet. Next question.
Yeah. So obviously playing rugby was a pretty big thing for you both. What was it like with studying? What did you guys? What interested you besides rugby at school?
Oh,
anything or what?
I wasn't really into my education at school. I know it sounds bad, but I wasn't really into my education at school. I was just one of those kids that sat at the back of the classroom and, just lived day by day at school.
At least you're there, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I never missed school. I like going to school, but it's just I was bad at concentrating in class. And
it's not for everyone, man.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, I was exactly the same as this kid. Just took day by day, sat at the back. Whenever Mr. Sir needed help, I'll chuck my hand up, go help him lift up the heavy things, get the golden star, and then I'll just sit back down in my seat. But they were my big reward during school.
Yeah. Any other sports you got involved in? Any other sports at school or what?
Oh yeah, I used to love my volleyball. So grade 8, 8, 9, and 10, I was playing volleyball for school. And then rugby took over, and it was pretty much you're doing rugby throughout the whole year, so you didn't really have time to do any other sport. So yeah, it was volleyball. That was my other sport that I used to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine was the same, just volleyball. Had a crack in grade 11 and 12. And
yeah, it's pretty big down in Brizzy, eh?
especially for GPS.
Really? Is it big or what? I don't know too much about it, but
Athletics is probably the biggest, and then you got your rugby, and then I don't know what's after that, but yeah, it's pretty big,
Probably football.
pretty competitive too. Like each school has a pretty good volleyball team.
mhm. And so when did you guys make your debut for first? And how did it all go about? Were you pretty happy or?
I made my debut for first against Nudgee in round 3 of 2018, and the score was 50-12 to them.
Oof.
Yeah, so it wasn't the fairy tale ending that you want making your debut, but to just put on that jersey for the first time, it was pretty surreal when I was lacing up my boots and putting that jersey on, because something that you always dream about especially coming through rugby at school. You always want to play in that first jersey, and to put it on for the first time was pretty special moment.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what posse?
I was playing 9.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I played 9 for past four years.
Yeah. Timma?
Yeah, and mine was debut was Grammar Downlands. It was in grade 11, 2018. So the year that we won it. So we won it down at theirs, and then unfortunately last year, round 2, they took it from us. So
Yeah. No, I watched a
that
few of
was
them.
cool. Yeah, like for me, for a first game, Grammar Downlands debut for the first was massive, because Grammar and Downlands, you've got a big rival and all that, especially the crowds that you get. It's crazy. Like, I can still remember to this day when I ran out there, got up to halfway, shook the boy's hand when I first did. I looked straight around, just did a big look around, and I was just like, fire out, I can't see a patch of grass, just everyone's watching. So
Hey.
it was a cool feeling. Yeah, I loved it.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, and yeah. So, what was your overall thoughts on your schools? You loved them, or what do you reckon?
Oh, I loved IGS. I got nothing bad to say about them. It's a good 5 years I spent there. Good bunch of boys, good teachers. So yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, rap.
Yeah, no, I love Tuamagara. I'm actually very happy I went to that school. They've definitely given me a kickstart in the future. Hopefully, I can continue on and play later down the track with my rugby. But yeah, they've done so much for me, so I've got nothing but big ups from them and recommendations to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting with Downlands how they play people sometimes in their buy, in like your buy. I found that real interesting, but I know you guys play them in Toowoomba as that sort of rivalry thing with the cup. I can't remember what it's called.
What is it?
The O'Callaghan Cup
Oh yeah,
is their competition. Yeah.
Shame Mac killed you that game.
It's a bit of a beast,
more,
bro.
Yeah, it was more Toowoomba versus Macagreally in my eyes, but there was obviously some other good players out there, but he certainly took the show on the day.
Yeah, man, he stepped up a little bit. We talked about that on podcast with him. Yeah, it all seems to revolve around no matter like what school you go, everyone sort of knows each other.
Yeah, definitely.
And so from there, you guys ended up playing Queensland.
Yeah, so we were both lucky enough to be selected in the Queensland team to take on New South Wales down at Nudgee, and yeah, it was pretty special feeling putting on that jersey with all the GPS boys. You don't get many chances to play alongside a lot of skilled and high talented players like that. So yeah, to be on the field with them was pretty special.
Yeah, it was very cool. Actually, I think whoever was in front of me was injured, and I just got called up out of the blue to take his position. And then ever since then, that was my first ever Queensland team from 18s and all that stuff. Like Kalani said, we both snatched it out there. We loved it, and I could still remember to this day. Every day we'd drive back from training in Brisbane. We were like, "Oh, gee, do you reckon you'll make the cut? Do you reckon you train good enough?" And we'll give each other little mimics, or if we trained well and whatnot. And there was, I can still remember we trained at West, and Kalani would tell me, "Gee, your catching was out of it, and your ball running was out of it." So to
Dead
have
honest,
him there,
bro. Dead honest. That's where you gotta be.
Yeah, exactly. Dead honest with everything.
I said it in a nice way. I didn't mean it to be rude.
But no, it was good. It was good to cop that on it from coaches, and also have someone there to look after me. And ever since then, we were both very lucky against Waratahs and then the Moose.
Yeah. And then Kalani, you got to move up to the ranks to play Aussie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so somehow I got selected in the team to take on or to go over to NZ for 10 days and play over there. So to be in that team was actually special, and to even put on the jersey and run on the field was, it was something that you wish to do as a young kid, play for your country or just play at the highest possible rep you can. And for me, that was something I had been chasing the whole year. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was pretty special for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Kanan was telling us about how like you're all sitting around a circle and your name just got called out, and you only had like, did you leave? Was it the one where you had left straight away and like you had like a week of preparation before you started playing?
Yeah, so I was pretty out of it how they selected the team. So everyone plays the game. So like we play New South Wales and such, and then half an hour later they announced the teams, and you had to have your bags packed or ready. So because you go straight into camp, so that was pretty crazy how they did it. But yeah, it was pretty like, especially like you didn't want to come home and unpack your bags. That was the one thing you didn't want to do. So yeah, that was pretty sad.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to do that, so it was alright.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So what's your greatest moment, bro? You crying?
For uh,
For that time being.
it would have definitely had to be the game we won against New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Australia haven't done that in, I think it was like 12 years or something. They haven't been in NZ. So to be a part of the team that won it, and yeah, it was actually pretty crazy when you think about it.
Mm. Yeah. And for you, Timmo, what was your favourite moment so far? In the schoolboy sort of era.
My favorite moment would probably be last year. Our last game against BGS was at home, and my favorite moment will probably we were very lucky to win that game, and then walked out, did a war cry, and everyone walked out to our school students and all that stuff, and all say thank you all for watching and that. And I turned around and walked straight to my parents, to my mum, and that was probably the best. Out of my 3 years out of there, I reckon that was probably the best feeling, is walking over to mum and just because she got to see my last game, and that's why I was very grateful for them to move down last year, to give up everything with our family, company, and all that stuff up north to come down to just watch last year rugby. That'd probably be my probably best and favorite feeling I'll hold to my heart to this day, is doing walk high and you're supposed to walk up to the boys and all that stuff, and they sort of shocked when I said that, did that big curve and then walked straight to my number one supporter, mum, and gave her a big hug and just said thank you. That's probably the best moment.
Yeah, that's sweet. And so you both graduated. Tell us a little about like what's happened after. Like what's your plans for your future?
Oh, Timmo, you get first. Hold up.
For my future, obviously, I sort of started straight away. I did go to school for like a day or two, but I didn't really go down there. I came straight down to Brisbane, chucked everything in, started working and all that stuff, and then ever since then I've been living here with my coach. Schultz, he's been looking after me until probably a couple of weeks down the track, and then I'll hopefully move into a place with a couple of the boys from Brothers, and just kick off from there. But yeah, hopefully looking to have a season with Brothers this year, and then staying in Brisbane and still chasing that team to make.
Yeah, sweet.
For me, rugby. Yeah, so I haven't really. So I finished school and went straight down to school. Spent the week down there, and then came back, and then was straight into training like 4 days a week at Reds, and that's pretty much been my agenda for the past like 6 months before ISO kicked in.
Mm.
So we're getting back into that next week, hopefully. So yeah, that's all. Yeah, I don't really work either. So
Yeah. No, that's sweet. Oh man, boys, this is the serious question. Got any other hobbies outside of rugby? I know that Jack Howarth was a DJ. What else we got? Like, some other random things.
yeah,
Keenan was apparently a DJ as well, actually. But yeah, we'll see how many DJs we can get on.
DJ 10 seconds right there. DJ 10 seconds he is.
He needs a new hobby. My hobby is I actually love to golf, so I'll golf before when I go to the fields. I'll golf. Get a couple hits in, and then go to the range or stuff and go play a game of golf with the boys because most of the boys are starting to pick it up too. So so that's probably my other hobby, which is golf.
Yeah, well, we see Callan Palmer used to do that. He used to be real well. He used to be like in New
Queensland
Zealand.
player.
He used to be up.
Oh, was it Queen? Yeah, I knew he was a national player or something.
Yeah, he was like nationals for New Zealand, like
Yeah.
champion or something hectic. And then he moved over here and then started playing rugby union basically. But I guess it's still in his blood. And a lot of rugby boys jump on the golfing.
Yeah, facts. Timma, what's your
Hey.
hobby?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, my hobby is probably eating, watching movies, and sleeping. Is my one. Big relaxing guy. I could probably just sit there for like a minute or two, not doing anything. I'll just pass out, me nap.
That is true. That is facts.
Hey.
So yeah.
And then to sort of wrap things up, we got a few questions from a few people, a few funny ones in here too. We'll start off with one for Kalani. Why is your running game so effective? And for this person, how would you train to improve it?
For me, I used to be a center, so I used to be an outside center, so I think I would have learned a thing or two there trying to beat a defender. But for me, I always watch heaps of rugby on like players beating defenders on with like either a fend, a step, because there's so many things you can do to beat a defender. It's not just running it straight. So that's probably one thing that I like to do is watch people beat defenders on different ways. Because if you implement that into your game, then it's hard to stop with all those different varieties of things to beat a defender.
Yeah.
What was the question?
What is it?
What was the question?
Yeah, you can answer it too, bro.
Oh no, I was just asking what it was.
Oh, the question was why is your running game so effective and how do you train to improve it?
Oh, yeah.
Especially you playing the forwards. You know, we saw you goosey when you whacked some poor bloke, bro. Tell us to do that, bro. I bet you have a bit of tips on how to have an effective running game like that.
No, that was just straight out of the blue. I don't even know who took over then.
It was a double, bro.
It was a double.
It was a bit. Yeah, the second one was a bit unnecessary, but I thought I did the first one pretty well. I thought I'd chuck another one just for fun.
I was like a
And
goosey
then
to a
pass.
step. That's crazy.
Dude, you still waxed that guy. I feel bad for him. Yeah, right. Shout out to Lucas Ripley for this one. What's it like to dog the boys for your girlfriends? Come on, bro. You can't be doing that.
He doesn't. This guy, Lucas, bro. He never comes out with the boys. Honest. Oh yeah, I always.
Yeah, expose him, bro. Expose him.
I always text him. Oi, come to the driving range. Come do this. Come do that. Nah, old mate doesn't even want to come out. And then I seen him with Xavier and his missus walking up Mount Keith. I was like, oh, this guy's dog. Did you see that post? It was
Lucas, you heard it here first, bro. Why not? Next question. Best player you've ever played with and against?
Ooh, that's tough.
Like in my position or like just in the team that we versed?
Just in general, bro.
I reckon mine would definitely have to be Harry Vella. Obviously, being in my position, it was very tough to play against him. But also, nice one, Lanny. Also, he's a very good player to play next to anyway. So I reckon Harry Vella will be my one.
Yeah. What about playing with?
Playing with would geez, why am I thinking? There's not many teams I've played anyways. Best player with would have to be probably Kalani.
Ooh.
Honestly.
Big ups, Kalani. Big ups.
Yeah, real chatty on the field, tells you what to do, so it makes you look less bad.
Hey, plug.
For
you, Kalani?
For me, the best player I've played with, probably Sam Walker. He just had all the skills and Seen some of the things he did on the field, yo, blew my mind sometimes.
Yeah, a bit of footwork on him, eh?
Yeah, he's got some skills to him, that kid.
Yeah, I see with the Roosters now, bro. He's gonna get up pretty quickly. Yeah. He was over in England with them.
Yeah, they took him over to England with him for experience. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, posting all the photos, even like half of the photos.
Yo,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes his debut in the next few years for sure.
yeah, oath. And
Someone wanted to know if you're playing under 20 for the Wallabies, or if you aren't, you're definitely aspiring to. But someone asked that.
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Coco.
so I've been lucky enough to get picked to go to some of the camps, and the under 20s might be going ahead this year, but we're not sure at the moment. So I'm still aspiring to that and chasing that goal, but we'll see how things go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is a good one actually. How do you deal with setbacks? So whether that's in, stuff that can affect your rugby, or is it directly linked to rugby? How do you deal with that sort of stuff?
A couple years ago, I was in a Queensland team, and the day before we were about to fly down to Sydney, I actually fractured my foot, so I was ruled out of that. And for me, that was pretty tough. I remember driving to the hospital with my dad and my sister, and I was crying in the car because you put so much effort into wanting to play everything, and for it to be taken away like that is it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
And for me, I think I went back and I was just more determined than ever, because you never want to be injured and miss out on the chance to put your name forward. So just trying to persevere as well, because can't always just drop your head, because that's no good. You just gotta keep moving forward and working hard, I guess.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, very very similar to Kalani. I got dropped a couple of times playing for Grandma in their first 15 side. I got dropped probably like 3 times, and it was pretty shit. I was getting dropped down the seconds, not looking down at the second boys, but I'm down at Grandma for rugby. That was pretty shame. And how I looked at it was I just stood back, and I was just like, oh, okay, you copped it for this and that. Saw the situation and just went full steam ahead and just made sure I trained on those things while I got dropped on.
Yeah. We got a bit of a funny story. You were telling us about this before to top it all off. Keenan asked again, what happened to Tim's Yui Boom in New Zealand?
What happened to the gift? What happened to my gift?
Right, yeah. So, yeah, this clear a bit. You got him a gift, bro. You got him a Yui Boom.
Yeah, I got him a gift for
No, he
looking after
didn't
me
give
last
me
week.
a gift. He gave
I
me.
did.
So he has 2 Yui Booms. He gave me
Yes.
one of them, which
Yeah,
I
which
should have
was the
taken
newest
more
one.
responsibility of looking after. But
Which
Glenn
was the newest
Vaihu,
one.
if he's listening, he still owes me a Yui Boom to Coco for losing it.
And how do you lose it, bro?
Alright, so I took it over with me to New Zealand, and it was I was playing the music with my roomie Glenn at the time, and anyway, I went out because we got a day off, so I went out with my family, and I came back and the speaker was gone, and I didn't realize at the time, and then it wasn't until the next day when I wanted to play some music. I was like, Glenn, where's the speaker? And he was like, oh, the New South boys have it. I went and checked every single room in there before we left, and yeah, someone taxed it, but
Oh, how'd you break the news to Tim?
I didn't
Oh,
actually.
he actually broke it to me a couple of weeks ago, even though the camp was long, even though the camp was ages away.
No, who said it?
I sort of got. Well, Kalani ended up telling me at the end of the day, but I got a bit sus because I've been over to his house a couple of times just recently, and he would always use the Uber to play music in that. But recently he used his old one, and I was like, oh, what isn't my Uber good enough or something? And then I swung by the question, and then I think we were with Keenan at the time, and Keenan was like, oh yeah, what happened to the Uber? And then Kalani broke it out to me and told me.
Oh,
That was 7 months after Glenn had lost it.
7 months.
Blame Glenn. I'm blaming Glenn.
Oh, no, that's good, lads. Thanks so much for jumping on today. Hope everyone listening appreciate it. Good bunch of blokes. I'm keen to see your future for sure, guys.
Thanks, Coops.
Easy.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks for listening.